Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelenskiy has said that Russian leader Vladimir Putin is afraid of the United States. Zelenskiy made the remarks in an interview with Newsmax on Tuesday. Zelenskiy explained that there is a tendency in Russia to halt bombing Ukraine during visits by U.S. Special Envoy Keith Kellogg and other White House officials. Zelenskiy linked the pause in U.S. airstrikes on Kiev in the 2 consecutive days to Kellogg's recent visit to his country. General Kellogg arrived and there were no massive bombings for 2 nights in a row. This is a very interesting example. There were no heavy attacks this night and the previous night, too, Zelenskiy explained. Even people are already joking about it, saying that we should give General Kellogg a Ukrainian passport and leave him here and that Americans should come to us more often because then Russia would bomb less. What does this mean? That Putin deliberately bombs civilians, but when the Americans are here, he doesn't do it. That is, he intimidates, blackmails, creates tension, but does not go for a full escalation, Zelenskiy went on saying. He claimed that the presence of military officials in Ukraine prompts the Kremlin to recalculate its plans, adding that the Russian authorities pay attention to the military and political influence of the United States. Furthermore, Zelenskiy thanked Washington for its efforts to end the war, calling the U.S. role in the current situation a strategic key. It should be noted that retired U.S. Army General Kellogg arrived in Kiev on Monday following Donald Trump's announcement that the White House would supply Ukraine with missiles and weapons, including Patriot air defense systems much thought after by Kiev. In yet another move to bring Putin to the negotiating table, Trump warned very severe tariffs if Russia did not end the war in 50 days.
Russian propagandists are once again talking about a missile apocalypse, this time because of rumors about the possible transfer of long-range American JASSM missiles to Ukraine. A wave of panicked messages with gloomy forecasts about massive strikes on central Russia has begun on Z channels, including statements that war will come to every home. The Russian Z channel Veterans Notes is preparing Russians for missile strikes in the coming months. In August to September, we should expect missile strikes by ballistic and long-range NATO missiles on large cities in central Russia. The alliance has given the go-ahead for this. The first missiles are already on Ukrainian territory, the propagandist wrote. Where he got this information from is unknown. Z propagandists see JASSM as a key threat. As sad as it may sound, war will most likely come to every home, writes the frightened ultra-patriots. JASSM Joint Air-to-Surface Standoff Missile is a precision-guided cruise missile developed by the United States to destroy hardened targets at long range. There are 2 main versions of the missile: the basic AGM-158A, with a range of up to 370 kilometers, and the improved AGM-158B JASSM-ER, capable of hitting targets at a distance of up to 1,000 kilometers. Both versions can be launched from American F-16 fighters. It is this range that causes real panic among Russian military bloggers. The materials of Z channels indicate that the range of the AGM-158A allows attacking targets in the Belgorod, Kursk, Bryansk, Oryol, and Voronezh regions. The extended version of the AGM-158B allegedly threatens Cheboksary, Vologda, and even St. Petersburg. Propagandists claim that the US already has about 4,000 such missiles in stock, and Ukraine is receiving Western carrier aircraft for them, F-16. In this regard, Z channels are confident that strikes on Moscow, Samara, or Nizhny Novgorod are only a matter of time. Although no official information about the transfer of JASSM to Ukraine has been received at the time of publication, Russian military propaganda is actively panicking. Z authors complain that due to the length of the borders and the lack of modern air defense systems, Russia will not be able to reliably protect its facilities if the missiles actually enter service with the Ukrainian armed forces. Hence the gloomy passages about the new reality and the inevitability of war on its own territory. The use of JASSM missiles, if they are delivered, will be aimed primarily at strategic military targets, ammunition depots, logistics hubs, command posts. There can be no carpet posts. There can be no carpet shelling of cities, which the Z channels like to talk about, neither according to international law nor according to the logic of modern warfare. While Russian Z channels paint pictures of destruction and the rampage of NATO missiles, Ukraine continues the fight to liberate its territories and protect civilians, and does so within the framework of the right to self-defense, recognized by the international community. If Russia violates NATO's borders, German troops are ready to kill Russian soldiers, emphasized German Defense Minister Boris Pistorius. He said this in an interview with the Financial Times. Pistorius stated that a genuine dialogue about peace is only possible from a position of strength. I have always been convinced that if you want to talk about peace and détente on equal terms, you can only do so from a position of strength, only at eye level, not to intimidate anyone, but to make it clear. We want to live in peace with you, but don't think that we are weak or that we will not defend ourselves. This is still relevant today, he noted. One of the key symbols of this position, according to the minister, was this year's inauguration of a permanent Bundeswehr brigade in Lithuania, a flagship project demonstrating Germany's firm commitment to its obligations within NATO. The British, Americans and French were in Germany to guard our eastern flank, Pistorius recalled, and today Lithuania, the Baltic states, Poland. This is the new eastern flank. We have to make our contribution there, he said. Pistorius emphasized that German troops, who for years had a culture of military restraint in response to the horrors of World War II, will be ready to kill Russian soldiers in the event of an attack by Moscow on a NATO member state. If deterrence does not work and Russia attacks, will it happen? Yes, he said. But I would recommend you simply go to Vilnius and talk to the representatives of the German brigade. They know exactly what their job is. U.S. Army Major General John Rafferty expressed the belief that NATO will need more long-range missiles in its arsenal to deter Russia from attacking Europe. Rafferty noted that Russia's army is currently larger than it was at the start of the full-scale war against Ukraine. We know they will continue investing in long-range missiles and advanced air defense systems. That's why it's crucial for the alliance to have more capabilities, he said. Reuters highlighted that Rafferty recently completed his service as commander of the U.S. Army's 56th Artillery Command in Mainz-Kastel, Germany, which is preparing for the temporary deployment of American long-range missiles in Europe, starting in 2026. It's also worth noting that in recent days, U.S. President Donald Trump has significantly shifted his stance on military aid to Ukraine and changed his rhetoric toward the Kremlin's leadership. For the first time, Trump publicly questioned whether Russia's ruler truly wants peace and stated that Putin talks a lot of nonsense.